Welcome to our lesson number 5 in word processing. In today's lesson, I want us to look at working with page layout. And for that, we are going to look at the following. We are going to look at changing the page margin. So a page margin simply refers to a gap or that area between the edge of the document and the content of the document. For example, the margin, this gap here between the edge of the document and the content here is the margin. Then this one also is the margin, another one is this side, and then we have another one around here. So we have 4 margins. That's top, left, this right, and the bottom margin. Then we're also going to look at how to change the page orientation. Do you want your page to stand or sleep? So we have portrait and landscape. Then changing the page size, we have various page sizes. By default it's always size code letter. We can change it to A4, A5, A3, and many others. Then we are also going to look at how to change the number of columns within our paragraph. We shall also look at how to add more pages. We have been dealing with only one page. Today I want us to look at how we can create another page from a document. Then also how to insert a page break. How to insert page. So with the page break, at times you may want to force the page to be created, not creating it normally. We use the page break, and we are going to look at this simple example here. So you can pause the video and type in the text. So let's begin with the first one, that is changing the page margins. And you have now seen what a margin is. These gaps here between the edge of the document and the text. Here we have the side and bottom also. So in order to set these margins here, we can either reduce the margin or we can increase the margin. So what you need to do is clicking on the page layout tab. This is where page layout tab is, because you are dealing with the page. So page layout, from page layout you have many other groups also. We have themes, we have page setup, page background, paragraph, then arrange. For now we are looking for margins. Margin is under page setup and we have it here. So when you click on that arrow under the margin, we have many of them here. We have last custom setting, normal, and you can see it is normal that is selected, meaning that we have here normal. So for you, if you don't want to use these measurements here, you can customize the margins. So you will always come to the last option here, custom margins. So after clicking on custom margins, then you can set the top margin, left, bottom, and the right by either just increasing or decreasing. So let me set it to 2 inches both. So I will need to add on that, and you can see under preview what is happening as you are adding. Then left also 2, bottom I need uniform one also 2, then right also 2. Then after that we can now click on OK, and you can now see how your text look like. You have increased on the margin. So in case you want small one, you can reduce on the margin. Okay, so that's margin. Then we can set the, so let me first reduce it a bit such that I have only one page. So I can still go back to page layout, margins, then custom margin, and you reduce it. Let me use 1.5 if possible. 1.5 for both of them. I'm reducing to 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, then okay. So now what we are going to do next is to change the page orientation, how your work will be printed. So in order for you to change the page orientation, if you have one page, you simply just need to move your cursor to page layout, and then orientation is here. We have portrait and landscape. So always by default it is portrait, then you need to change it to landscape, and you can see how it has changed. But in case you have more than one pages, so what you need to do first, you first select all what's there in your pages. You select all of them, then you click on orientation, and you can select landscape. So you can switch between landscape and portrait. That's the orientation. And the other one is changing the page size. So this size of the page, you can also change it depending on what measurement you want. So still under page layout, we have page setup here, and there is size here. So when you click on size, you will have different sizes. We have letter, legal. So for now, let's try to change to A4, but you can change it to any other size, and you see how it affects your document. So I'm changing it to A4. You can see how A4 look like. The other one, what we need to look at is changing the number of columns. So when you look at the text here, we have it is only in one column. These lines here are in one line vertically. So we need to change, we can change the number of columns depending on what you want. For example, under paragraph 2, this is my paragraph 2, I can change this column here to 3. Here it is only 1, but I can split it into 3. So that means that you need to first select the paragraph or the text that you want to change. It is a column. Then under page layout, we have columns here. So when you click on columns, we have 1, 2, 3, left, right, but I will always advise you to use more columns. So under more columns, still you will find 1, 2, 3, left, right. But in case they wanted like 4, there is no 4 here, so you can come and increase the number of columns from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you will see the preview here how it's going to look like. Then you can okay, so you can see now we have this is 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. Then the other one is you may want to separate your columns a line in between. So what you need to do, for example, if I have this one here, I have let me split the first one. First select it, layout or page layout, then columns. I want this time 3 of them, 3. Then I want a line in between, so there is a line between here. Simply just tick there and click on OK. So you can see you have a line in between. Okay, so that's how we deal with the columns. And then the other one that we are supposed to look at is how to add more pages. So you can see here we have only one page. How will you know that you have only one page? You come here, page 1 of 1, meaning that the page you are on is page 1 and the total is 1. But we can add more pages. So in order for you to add more pages, you need to know where your cursor is. You need to mind about your cursor. So make sure you first come and make your cursor to be the last point. Like this is my last paragraph, and the cursor must be the last point. That insertion point there must be jumping, and it must be the last on that last paragraph. Then after that, you can now move back to insert tab. Under insert tab, we have pages here. Pages here, we have cover page, blank page, and then page break. But we want a new page, that means that blank page. So when you click on it, it creates for you another page here. So that is adding more pages. So you can add as many pages as you want. Like now you can see here 2 of 2, meaning that we have 2 pages. So in case you did not mind of where the cursor is, for example, if maybe your cursor was here and you simply come to insert, then new blank page, it will move your work to the next page, meaning that you have not created a page in a right way. So the right way is by bringing the cursor to be the last point on the last paragraph, then from insert tab, click on a blank pages, and you will have a very blank page without anything in it. Then you also have page breaking. In case you want to force like this paragraph here to move to the next page, what you need to do, in case I want to break this paragraph here, I want to force this paragraph to appear on the next page, what I will need to do, I click, or you click on the last point of the paragraph that is going to remain, or to the beginning of that paragraph that you want to force to move to the next page. Then still move the cursor to insert, and you have page break here. So you can see it has taken this work or this paragraph to the next page. That is page break. So with that, let's meet in our next lesson.